18 when you started making money,
Right.
and you came from nothing to making money. Did you ever stop and think like, wow, I got to make these tough decisions at 21 and 22?
Being a first generational money maker in the household is a scary thing. And for 18-year-old, I go from being sitting in classrooms in May, graduating high school, to being a multimillionaire a month later, in June.
Insane. From when we were kids, I mean, I was thinking about these as I was preparing for this, that we dealt with this on like a high level. All of a sudden we were in this, like, for me, it was like, holy shit, now we're in this room and this shit is real. It's not like I had that moment. We were sitting in that room at Reebok, and Paul Fireman was very smart. He said to you, you know, I know you're going to go see Nike and Adidas, but I'm going to offer you $10 million today if you don't go see them and shake my hand.
Right.
He wrote you a $10 million check in that room, and you turned it down. I can't say I would have turned it down. I mean, I think in the room I said, yo, let's take this check and get the hell out of here. But you turned it down. What was that thinking? Do you remember what you were thinking and why you did it?
Right. I mean, I remember, first of all, it was one of the longest damn tables I ever seen in my life.
The longest table, boardroom table
ever. It was one of the
ever.
longest boardroom tables I ever seen in my life. And I had no idea what he was doing at the other end of the table. I just seen him writing.
Yeah.
And he was talking, had his head down. He was making sure he didn't get anything wrong on that on that check. And when he slid it down there and he said, listen, if you take this right now, you know, you just promised me you won't go talk to Nike or Adidas, you know, you can take this right now. And I was lost for words at the beginning. I mean, shit, I flew in from Akron, Ohio, from Spring Hill, like, from the projects. I mean, our rent is like $17 a month.
Exactly.
And now I'm looking at a $10 million check.
That you can leave with.
Yeah, and go to high school and go back to the classroom the next day.
I was telling people that you were going to homeroom the next morning.
I was going to homeroom the next morning. So I'm like, holy shit. That's my first initial thing. And then I for some odd reason, I started thinking, like, if this guy, he's a great guy too. I still love him to this day. He's an unbelievable guy. But if he's willing to give me a $10 million check right now, what is it to say that Nike or Adidas is not willing to give me 20 or 30, you know, up front, you know, or to say that maybe the upfront money is not even the biggest thing, you know, maybe let's start thinking about the back end, you know, and, you know, I've always, you know, and that comes from, you know, my uncles as well, just, you know, never put all your eggs in one basket, you know, and give it an opportunity, give people an opportunity to say what they got, to pitch themselves. And, you know, we always say, listen, we're gonna hear all three companies. We want to hear all three companies, what they have to say, you know, what's their plan, and I still can't believe I left that $10 million.
I can't believe it either. Was there a point that it really clicked for you? Like, okay, now I understand actually the difference between equity and money, like betting on myself long term versus just getting some money today.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's a hell of a question right there, and I think when we started to look at our endorsement deals as partnerships, I think that's when a lot of it started clicking for me, of saying, you know what, we're not just here to hold your product, or we're not here just to talk your product. We're here to work with you to how we can figure out how that product may look better on that bookshelf, you know, and how it can live sometimes without even me.
Exactly.
You know, and once we started doing that, and I started seeing us become more and more and more seasoned at doing that, I was like, you know, there's no reason why we can't start our own thing.
Yep.
To a point where we can have our brainstorming opportunities, where if we come up with something, people want to buy what we got.
Of course. Yep.
You know, and that's what a lot of it had to do with. And just to say that you bet on yourself and you started from the bottom.
Yeah.
You started from the bottom and you've created something where you can look at it and say, wow, we did that. We did that. And we own that.
Yep.
And we own that. That's a really cool thing.